It's been a while since I last spoke to the group, and if you were there, you'll recall it really wasn't much of a speech. I took the opportunity to open up and share that I have ADHD and it's a significant part of my life, which causes several struggles. Well, this summer I challenged myself with a long-term fitness goal to push myself some of uh, to confront some of those challenges and to see what kind of growth I could see in myself, both physically and mentally. A particular challenge with ADHD is chipping away at long-term goals. We're great at intense bursts of focused energy, but it's often a challenge to maintain sustained, gradual progress. We rely on external motivations to generate the energy we need, often in the form of self-imposed time crunches and emergencies, many of which could be avoided. It's often exciting, but it's reliably stressful, and is not a sustainable means for maintaining meaningful growth. So, what long-term fitness goal did I undertake this summer? Well, a half marathon, of course. A half marathon is a great goal to really focus on this challenge of incremental progress. I actually completed a half marathon 6 years ago, um, but I've always been disappointed with the lack of preparation that I put into that race and how I performed as a result. At the time, I thought I could rely on the adrenaline and the energy of the race itself to power me through my goal. I was kidding myself, though. I didn't stick with my training program, and I wasn't able to continuously run during the race. I had to slow to a walk for a decent stretch of the race uh, just to complete it. And so, yes, I completed the race. I ran across the finish line, but I knew I had let myself down. I don't think I even looked up my time afterwards because I was disappointed in myself. So I knew from experience that for this attempt at my own personal half marathon, given all the actual races are canceled with COVID, that uh, this attempt would require more intentional incremental progress to accomplish, especially 6 years older and with my dad bod starting to take form. I learned three main things along the way: to establish accountability tools to generate motivation, to set a goal with incremental steps to help myself recognize that I'm making progress, and that I'm not perfect, but I don't have to be. Progress over perfection. To establish accountability, I utilize technology, friends, and family. Instead of following a running plan in a book or on paper, I actually use my Garmin watch. It has a Garmin coach built into it to guide you through a training program, uh, which really, uh, so the program that I've been on actually is 17 weeks long, and it really gives me accountability as there's no way to cheat it or slack it off. I have to literally run my butt and the GPS in this watch through all those miles to get the credit and have it show up. I also held myself accountable by sharing my running goal with my friends and family. They were cheering on my progress, and they would know how I finished. I didn't want to let them down. I learned I need to replicate From this experience. I've learned I need to replicate ways to create similar forms of accountability for other incremental goals in my life. Uh, don't you wish Garmin could make a watch app that uh, makes you do similar things and forces you to make incremental progress for everything? The primary goals I established for myself to run my half marathon were to run it continuously, because that was uh, where I was really particularly disappointed last time, and to really stick with the training program, give it the full effort and all the way through. Um, I was able to track my incremental progress with the app and actually with a spreadsheet that I've been keeping, which I've logged all my miles. Yes, I'm an engineer. I love spreadsheets. But it's very satisfying to, after completing a run, input that time or that distance and see those miles really start to add up. Um, I also learned that I'm not perfect and I don't have to be. Uh, through 17 weeks of running, I only missed one, well, not only, I missed one. I missed one running run, and it sucked. Like, I was disappointed in myself, uh, but it's not easy. I'm not perfect, but it motivated me to not miss another. And I didn't. I didn't miss another run for the whole 17-week program. It's 3 runs a day, uh, and incrementally longer and longer. Uh, and then even on those days where I didn't get good sleep, I was draggy in the morning. Usually I get up and run at 6 a.m. and knock it out before the day starts. But some days, I'm dragging hard to get out of bed. I would motivate myself to go ahead and still get it in by the end of the day. Midwest humidity be damned. So all that to say, well, I did it. I completed my half marathon this past Saturday, and I achieved my goals. I ran it continuously, and to put the cherry on top, Nancy actually invited friends and my parents in from out of town to have a nice, safe, socially distant gathering at Roe Park, where I planned my running route so that would be my finish line. And so I had a great support group there to cheer me on as I crossed the finish. We even had some toilet paper for me to run through. Um, but it wasn't easy. I learned a lot about myself, how I need to be more uh, deliberate about setting accountability and motivation for myself, uh, but also to set incremental goals and how I can measure my progress towards them, and that uh, I don't have to be perfect, and that's okay. To acknowledge and give myself credit for the progress that I'm making, but still motivate myself to make progress. So what's next? I've learned I can do hard things. I've learned good tools to help me with other long-term challenges in my life. And I've committed to keeping up with running, and you all can help me stay accountable with that. In fact, since Memorial Day, I've run 210 miles, and I'm on track to achieve another goal I set for myself this summer. I only have 20 more miles to run by Labor Day to run the equivalent length of the width of Missouri from Kansas City to St. Louis along I-70. So hopefully the things I've learned along the way can plan to put them in action, and hopefully uh, some ideas for you in your long-term journeys as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Corey.